All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is officially my final night in the Tarlton Motorsports 21. For the first half of the season, I'll be rejoining these guys come early October to finish things off. And man, it has been such a fun stretch. And I think how I wanted to start today's show, just with this opportunity and getting to run with Tarlton throughout the beginning of 2025. I did not expect myself to be in this position. You know, as I look back at 2024 and where my career was headed, it's just cool how sometimes things, you know, unexpectedly fall into place, and working with Drew Warner and Nate and them allowing, you know, Carly and myself to be a part of this operation. It's truly been a lot of fun. We won 2 races, you know, ran well with high limit, you know, raced across the country, and we're gonna finish things off here just for the first half of the year at the Silver Dollar Speedway for tonight's David Tarter Memorial. And speaking of tonight being the David Tarter Memorial, it pays $5,035 to win, and we're racing with the King of the West NARC 410 sprint cars. So this is sanctioned, and we have a busy week ahead of us. We have NARC Speed Week after this through Oregon in the Pacific Northwest, and then we also have the Dirt Cup, which is gonna pay 6 figures, $100,000 here in just 2 weeks. All that doesn't matter though. We're focused on tonight and ready to roll with the 21 car. I think we're expecting, I would say, a full field of 410s. In Chico, I always say you never know what to expect, but with this being a 2-day weekend and yesterday being very hooked up for the feature, they kind of just, you know, they had kind of been messing with the surface all night, but it ended up being wet at the end of it. I would say tonight, with how warm, with the heat, with the cars, I would say it's gonna get pretty slick. So that's my prediction as we roll into engine heat, hot laps, and qualifying. But no matter what they throw at us, we're gonna take it on. And again, just excited to run tonight with the 21 car. Would love to finish our little stint on a high note. We just got all qualified here at the Silver Dollar Speedway. Well, we got qualified, but we're not sure where. I don't think we laid down a great lap, but the timing and scoring's all messed up. So like, my race pass has about 5 or 6 cars on it, and there's 22 of us. So we're not sure what our lap time is, how far off we are, you know, where we fell. In this place, it'll make your head spin. Early in the night, I feel like yesterday, you know, it got slick kind of in a hurry, so they got nervous, so they farmed it. Well, now going into tonight, they wanted to have a little bit more grip in it, and it was just super slimy. Like, that's just basically a top layer of water that is sitting on the track and just takes a while to burn in, and the only way to is to pack it and to run laps and to pack it and to run laps. I feel like now we're still probably half a second or more off the pace, and with the 410 you just got so much power, so it's easy to have, you know, enough throttle where you're just spinning the tires. And we don't normally set up for grease, right? That's just not what our job is, and tonight it just was still like that in qualifying. So we need to make some adjustments. I don't know where we're at. I don't feel like our laps were great, but just a really difficult surface, and obviously all of us drivers had the same thing. So we'll see where we pan out. We've been racing a lot better than we qualified lately, so put that behind us and just figure out how we can make our race car better, more comfortable for me, so I can start attacking forward. So quick turnaround, got to get in for our heat race. I told you guys I didn't think we laid down a very good lap. Well, we were 19th or 20th out of 22 cars, so definitely didn't get down the lap that we wanted to. A lot of it was just how you get through the grease, and we did not get through the grease. We just didn't get through the grease. So we had a few things we were checking out with the engine that we were unsure about, just kind of getting really hot, and so we looked into that, changed some stuff with our setup. I don't think the racetrack's going to be too much different, but it's going to keep working in here to the heat race, rolling off from 7th out of 7 cars, so we can only go forward. Same situation as always, and what we've really had to work on, it's not necessarily what situations occur, but how do you bounce back, and, you know, what can you do to maximize the situation that you're in. So here, obviously, just want to move forward and do all we can to improve our starting spot for the A main event. This is where we're at right now. There's nothing we can do to change it. They kind of worked on the surface a little bit, just trying to get it packed down, and I think it's going to be a little choppy, a little rough, but I do think it could still get slick, and you know, maybe not right away here in this heat race, but head that direction. So just try to go where the guys in front of us aren't. We loaded some tear-offs on, and try to make the best of our 7th place starting position here in the heat race in the next 8 laps. Well, guys, it's a beautiful evening here in NorCal. That's about all all I have going for me tonight, man. It's gosh, wasn't able to move forward there in that heat race. Started 7th, finished 7th. At one point tried to kind of challenge those guys in front of me, but just difficult to pass, and we're still really trying to work on our car. I don't know, I just didn't feel good at all. Like, my car we're having a hard time getting it to just get around the track with good speed and momentum and just sit right going around. Like, my team, which I mean obviously as a driver helps me feel a little bit better in the sense of like it's easy in these moments to be like, man, like what the heck is going on? Like, you feel like you just forgot how to drive? But no, we're just kind of communicating. Like, the car just doesn't look happy going around. Like, I'm not sitting right to go around the racetrack. I'm just like way up and laid over right, and it's hard to do that here at Chico. This track's so thick, so wet. Like, anytime I hit any sort of grip, like I'm just going the wrong direction on the racetrack. Yeah, so that's obviously hard as a driver, man. Like I said, it's frustrating. So we're gonna just work on it. We got one more shot here in the A. We're gonna obviously be starting almost, you know, basically the back row and only room to go forward. So yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully the racetrack kind of keeps coming into its own. It's not obviously super racy right now, but it is what it is. Obviously we're giving it 110%, and that's what it's all about. You just got to keep giving it good effort and make the most of everything. So heat race is done, qualifying's done. We're gonna take one big swing at it here to try to make it better for the feature. So just up here by my driver cabinet, getting ready for the feature. We have 35 laps ahead of us. They just worked the surface. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how our nights went to this point. All we have here is 35 laps ahead of us. Complete fresh start, starting in the back with only one way to go. I think the surface is definitely gonna have some grip for a minute. It's had grip all night in a lot of spots, but they finally now just worked the bottom some. You know, about halfway up's had grip all night. I think it has potential to maybe move some that direction, but it's really just going to depend on where everyone runs. Like I said, just kind of preparing for it all. Whatever they throw at us, we just try to make the best for 35 laps. We made a ton of changes to our race car. So again, this is just a fresh start and just trying to make the most of you know, our opportunity here to be hard charger, to pass cars. It's going to be all about keeping our head on a swivel. You know, being smart. We have time. We definitely have time. 35 laps is a long race, but also being aggressive and filling gaps as we see opportunity. So gonna go climb in. Want to make the most of this last race here with the 21 guys for a little bit. So we had a slower start here to the feature than we were hoping for. Just haven't been able to put many cars between ourselves and the back of the field and the leaders coming up. You can see Justin here. I'm the next car in line, and he actually shows me a nose in 3 and 4. So just trying to get this yellow 9 car set up in some way. Really hard to make passes right now in 1 and 2 with there just being so much grip down there. You can see Justin even was kind of close to my inside, but you can just carry so much momentum. So I kind of dive down low, protecting, trying to see if I can run away, because if I can get past this car in front of me, I might be able to get away from Justin. So So I got a little bit of a run there in 1 and 2, and actually dive low here in 3 and 4 to get underneath him, and unfortunately just slid through the cushion. Like, I tried to carry as much speed and shoot off. He drove back underneath me, just in-lapped me, and once you're a lap car truly behind the leader, you're not gonna race him back, right? You know, when you're racing for position, it's one thing, you're racing hard on the track we're given, but unless he makes a crazy mistake, you know, my race now at this point, unfortunately, is kind of over. But I wanted to keep feeling out my race car because we had some struggles tonight with it, so I kept ripping good. You know, I'm trying to get around this 9 car still and was able to sneak underneath him here. He did kind of race me back into 1 and 2. Luckily, I was able to drive around it. I was almost got kind of crazy there. So I drove around him, and you know, at this point now trying to run some hard laps, like I said, just to feel out my race car, and honestly did feel, once I got kind of going by myself and the fuel load was burning off every lap, I actually felt better and better. Obviously it does suck though, because like I said, my race is, I mean, it's over. There's no other way to put it. But I did end up staying out on track. I wanted to give it 110% for these guys to finish this thing off and make the best laps I could, and see if I actually could pass some cars, you know, where I basically would have ended up if I didn't get lapped. And obviously did it with a ton of caution and just trying to be smart, because there's no reason to do anything stupid once you're a lap down. But I didn't want to pull off because, you know, I honestly didn't know if I should or not, and so just decided to stay out there and keep gassing it, and just try to run up through the cars in front of me.
Well, fast forward just some time, and of course Chico's done, and now you guys saw our Speedweek's done, and those videos are going to be coming. I just wanted to recap this one. I didn't end up chatting that night because we drove straight home. Of course, some frustration from myself. Anytime as a driver you get lapped, like it's gosh, it's the worst thing ever. It really is. It just sucks. You know, starting that far back, you got to get moving quick. And I thought that I tried, but just how some of the lap cars played out, and I could have done a better job. And once, you know, Justin just was setting a great pace, so he got by me. My race was done. Now, if you kind of watch though, I actually, you know, and I wasn't sure what to do because you know, you just never have the conversation because you never plan on being lapped on, you know, if a team, like for example, with my own car, maybe would have just pulled in, but I wasn't sure with, you know, Tarlton and them, so I just kept running. I actually finished about 9th is where I actually crossed the line if I wasn't a lap car. That's how far we were able to drive up, so technically passed about 12 cars from 21st to 9th, but of course I think we ended up getting scored, you know, 15th or whatever, 1 lap down. Doesn't matter, but anyway, our car started feeling better and better, and that was me just kind of going about 80%, being careful, again, not doing anything that, you know, you're not going 100% race pace, but you're trying to pass cars as they make mistakes. Okay, shoot here, you know, run different lines, and you know, have some better notes for next time we go back to Chico. Thank you guys though so much for watching. Tons of content coming your way here. I'm getting all caught up and just appreciate your guys' support, and we're gonna keep rolling through the summer of 2025 with the 18T, then back in the 21 car later in the year, and just very, very blessed to get to do what I get to do. We'll see you in the next one. Deuces.